Oh, hi. Didn't see you there.
So, you might be thinking, what shall I do to give the Interworlders more shine? Well, I've been thinking of redesigning some of my monsters I made in the past to match my current art style. Well then, I have decided to give some of my monsters glow up, so you can share your opinions on them. Anyways, enough yapping. Let's get started. Starting off with... Yep, you heard me. Robodex's current design had been here for a very long time, ever since its debut on the original version of Interworlder Kingdom. So, since Robodex's redesign is made by Telix, I've decided to redesign it entirely to separate it from his current design. For the microphone antenna, I replaced him with the antenna from his old design. However, the microphone antenna has been reused as a microphone tail, and I decided to reimagine Robodex's oldest design into its reborn state. There it is, introducing Robodex version 3. It's a huge improvement from his current design, and I like how it turned out. Anyways, let's move on to the next monster. Next off, we have Bassling. Same reasoning goes to Robodex. The redesign was made by Telix. Well, obviously. Also, Bassling isn't actually made by Telix. He was made by Jack the Star, who left the MSM community probably. Also, I was about to give Bassling octopus legs, but that could look boring, so I replaced them with robotic spider legs instead. I also decided to make his face pixelated to make him look like a console mascot. His hands now have cyan and red screen pads. Oh, and I almost forgot that he now has a screen for a torso. Introducing Bassling version 3. I must say, I think he looks much cuter now. I love how the pixelated face turned out. And like Robodex, I actually like how the design turned out. Anyways, next monster. Yep, you heard me. This is gonna be the third time I am redesigning Spectardis. The reason that I had to redesign Spectardis is because I saw a lot of people being confused with Spectardis being more like a spiritual single than a creation single. And you know what? I agree. That's right, you heard me. I had to replace Spectardis' ghostly tail with a cloudy tail, so no one can confuse her being the spiritual single. I also decided to replace her paintbrush arm with a normal arm and reuse the paintbrush arm with a paintbrush tail. Also, she now has paint right in her face and her clothes. Even her tail too, I suppose. Introducing Spectardis version 4. Man, I can't believe she got redesigned like 3 times already. Also, yes, her redesign is inspired by a fan art made by my friend Violet. So, go sub to her. She's cool. Now, on to the next redesign. About time I had to redesign a wild interworlder ever since where Sipney got redesigned. I just thought his current design looked ugly in my opinion, so that's why I had to redesign him. Also, I decided to change his expression because I thought he would look cooler with that expression. Yeah, nothing much changed, just a redraw. And I got nothing to yap, so enjoy the rest of the speed paint, I guess. Introducing Crystapede version 2. Like I said, nothing changed, just a minor redesign and a redraw. I've been thinking of redesigning more Wild Interworlders, but not right now. Anyways, next monster. That's right, another minor redesign for a monster. Also a redraw if you count. The reason that I didn't redesign Golimba for a long time is that his design was been here for 4 years. And besides, he is the oldest monster that didn't get a redesign. I mean, look at Glitterbell. She didn't get a single redesign for 2 years. And it's weird using this outdated design for a few years now. So, that's why I finally decided to redraw Golimba after a few years. Introducing Golimba version 3. I can't believe it is finally an opportunity to redesign him after a few years. Also, I got rid of the crystals and rocks flowing all around him. I've been also thinking of redesigning more monsters that didn't get a single redesign for a few years. And speaking of redesigning a few monsters that didn't get a redesign for a few years, that's right, Glitchgan also received a redesign as well. Same reasoning goes to Golimba though. Also, this redesign is pretty much inspired by Afro Boy's Glitchgan redesign, which I thought she looked pretty cool to be honest. Also, fun fact, Glitchgan's redesign was supposed to look like this, but I'm not really happy about how the redesign turned out, so I scrapped it. Oh, and another thing, Glitchgan now has a motherly personality to be into, due to her mother-like appearance, which is a reference to how Glitchgan's voice actress is my mom, which is the same person who voiced her from the Wild Dojo trailer. Introducing Glitchgan version 3. And unlike the previous Glitchgan version 3 design I scrapped, I'm actually proud of how the actual version 3 design turned out. Also, I have a feeling that the Sims are coming for her. But don't worry, Yellow Eyes, you're not alone. And speaking of Yellow Eyes, her friend is getting a redesign. And speaking of her friend, that's right, about time Cynologelith is getting a redesign. Now taking inspiration from my current Sona. And I must say, Cynologelith has received the biggest redesign in this video, even bigger than Spectardis. Also, before you ask about how he makes his sound now, is that he now plays like Ogler does. By the way, before you ask about what his sound is the same as before, which is Theremin. I also made a last-minute decision by giving him green-colored Ogler-like holographic shapes, which is all what I was thinking, I guess. Introducing Cynologelin version 2, now known as Antheralide, which his name origin is a mix between Anthony, Theremin, and Lead, like synth lead. And like I said before, his design now takes inspiration from my current Sona. Also, this is the last redesign for this video. Well, I guess that's all the redesigns I want to show for this video. And I must say, these redesigns might be a huge improvement compared to their previous designs. If you want to see more redesigns in the future, feel free to suggest in the comments below. Man, this sure is a long video. But trust me, it will get more crazier when more redesigns are out. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any videos. Well, see you in the next video. Spirit loves you all.